With Rainbow Six Siege now 6 months old, the game has officially found its feet. It's grown a respectable user base, entered into the ESL space, and already launched with its first DLC with the Black Ice expansion that took us to cold solitary depths. Now we're taken from the freezer into the fire with Ubisoft's latest offering, Dustline. Set within a Middle Eastern war-torn flavour, the setting couldn't be more opposite than the last DLC pack. We've got one new map and 2 new operators to get to grips with. So, will it gather dust or walk the line? Let's find out. First up, we have Blackbeard, an appropriately modelled Navy SEALs operator. Stats wise, he's ranked 2 out of 3 for armour and 2 out of 3 for speed, making him an excellent all-rounder for any attacking team. With the speed to flank effectively and the armour to take more than a few hits, Blackbeard should prove to be a popular and potent choice. In his loadout, we have 2 different options, the first of which is the Mark 17 CQB, which is essentially the FN Scar H. To get into the nitty gritty of it, it has a 52 damage model, a rounds per minute of 585, a mobility rating of 40, and an overall mag size of 21. The weapon is certainly different to the other offerings in the game. It hits hard, but don't expect prolonged firefights with a 21 round magazine. It's best to think of this as the middle ground between DMRs and assault rifles. You'll have a distinct power advantage in a one-on-one fight, but should you come across multiple targets, you may find yourself outgunned and having to fall back on your pistol. The Scar H is an appropriate weapon choice for the SEALs operator, seeing limited use within the forces and being a well-respected weapon from FN Herstal. The Scar has been in active service since 2009 and comes in a number of different variants, from the DMR option through to the 5.56 chambered Scar L, all the way to Blackbeard's weapon of choice, the aptly named Scar Heavy, which fires a large 7.62 round. The second option available to Blackbeard is the SR-25 Designated Marksman's Rifle. As you expect from the title, this is a semi-auto weapon platform and is set up for high damage, low volume of fire. With a damage rating of 75, a mobility rating of 38, and a mag size of 21, this should feel right at home with those familiar to Twitch's HK417 DMR. The SR-25 is a staple of the US Armed Forces and a highly respected DMR platform. It's been depicted in many silver screen outings such as Shooter, Black Hawk Down and Tears of the Sun. Both weapon platforms are solid choices, and Ubisoft are to be commended with the addition of the Scar H. This shakes up the assault rifle archetype and gives the attacking roster more enticing choices to suit different playstyles. Where things get really interesting is with his gadget, the assault rifle shield. This small size shield attaches directly over the upper receiver of your gun, giving you protection from enemy headshots while you're aimed down sights. In a game where headshots are the surefire way to victory and a peeker's advantage is so prominent, this certainly has its merits, although it does leave your body exposed to incoming fire and slows your overall movement speed. Blackbeard also carries a Desert Eagle pistol as his secondary weapon. World renowned as a heavy-hitting, low-capacity sidearm, this feels like the middle ground between the 1911 and the LFP 586. Finishing off his loadout, we gain access to the flashbangs and breaching charges, giving us plenty of options when assaulting in close quarter situations. Overall, Blackbeard lends himself to slow, methodical players, those who like to move through a map methodically, clearing corners and peeking sightlines. He's set up for one-on-one fights and to power his way through those. Though when multiple enemies are expected, Blackbeard is best suited for team play, forming the backbone of any high damage team. Our second option to consider in this DLC is the defensive Valkyrie. With stats identical to Blackbeard's, she's sporting a 2 out of 3 armor rating and a 2 out of 3 speed rating again, making her an extremely solid choice for your defensive team roster. For her armour, we have a couple of new options here. Firstly, the Spaz 12 shotgun. This is a very interesting choice from Ubisoft as it's never been issued to any of the Navy SEALs teams, but let's not stand on realism and sacrifice of weapon balance here. In the game, the Spaz 12 is a semi-automatic shotgun with 8 rounds in the tube, allowing for some truly devastating close quarters potential. It boasts a damage model of 50 and a mobility rating of 42. This, coupled with her gadgets and speed, allows it to be a first class choice for roaming, with the speed to carry you to unsuspecting enemies and the power to put them down just as fast. The weapon feels and handles very similarly to Frost's Super 90 shotgun. Suffice it to say then, it's more than capable at dishing out punishment. The Spaz 12 is an Italian weapon designed in the 70s, so despite its relatively modern looks, it's actually quite an old weapons platform, seeing on-screen appearances in multiple movies such as Demolition Man and Jurassic Park. Our second choice is the decidedly newer SIG MPX submachine gun. Developed in 2013, the MPX can be viewed as a contender to the aging MP5 weapon system. Chambering a 9mm round, in game this is a 32 damage model at 970 rounds per minute, coupled to a mag size of 31 and a mobility rating of 45. The weapon recoil pattern is similar to Jaeger's 416 in game, but don't underestimate the accuracy this weapon provides and the opportunities for headshots that it opens up. For her gadget slot, we have a very interesting choice: 4 mini deployable cameras called Black Eyes. These are thrown very similarly to grenades, but stick to any surface, opening up possibilities for some ingenious surveillance opportunities. The notable drawback with these is they can be shot out and do emit an obvious blue light when active. While the light will stand out against the general colour palette of the maps, this can be remedied by placing them intelligently and out of the standard lines of sight. These sneaky little devices offer defenders great situational awareness, only adding to Valkyrie's roaming potential, so expect to see IQ being used a lot more in order to root out this gadget. As with Blackbeard, Valkyrie gets the Desert Eagle sidearm and has access to the deployable shield or a nitro cell. Overall, she performs very similar to Pulse with the roaming potential and close quarters lethality. She doesn't revolutionise the defensive aspect of the game, but she certainly enhances it. That's it for our Dustline Operators review. Thanks for tuning in, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out there.